Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Dear leaders, distinguished guests from UNESCO, and our dear representatives from academic institutions, and all friends joining us online, welcome to ICT Accelerating Education Transformation Summit 2024. This is Lily. I'm so happy to be the MC for today's event. Welcome everybody to Shenzhen. And thank you for joining us for the ICT Accelerating Education Transformation Summit 2024 on the sidelines of Huawei ICT Competition 2023 to 2024 Global Final. We are live broadcasting today's event online. Today is an important step in our journey to transform learning with technology. Let's embrace transformation, information and communication technology, which is known as ICT, to enhance education. All stakeholders are exploring different ways for digital transformation in education. Huawei's ICT Academy program works with colleges and universities to develop students into valuable ICT professionals, build talent alliances, improve skills, set standards, and promote talent values. With determination and teamwork, we can speed up the transformation of education, ensuring equal access, fostering creativity, and empowering the next generation to succeed in the digital age. During the summit together, we will explore innovative strategies, share insights, and forge partnerships that will shape the future of learning. Now, I will quickly go through the agenda items of today's summit. First of all, we will have an open welcome speech for one of our distinguished Huawei leaders. And then we will have a keynote on AI-based ICT industry development. Then we will have 2 rounds of roundtable discussion. The first roundtable discussion by invited guests from industry and academia, gearing up for the future in the context of education transformation. Another roundtable discussion by invited guests on women in leadership. Then followed by a success stories to focus on education plans to promote sustainable talent development. Then we will have a grand important moment, that is Huawei ICT Academy MVI Award Ceremony. Finally, the last but not the least, to capture this moment, we will invite all of you, our distinguished leaders and guests, come onto stage and take a grand group photo together. Then we will adjourn to lunch. I trust that everyone will derive meaningful insights from the thought-provoking and forward-looking summit. And also, again, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for participation and engagement today with us. And on behalf of Huawei, I would like to say, welcome, everybody. Welcome to China. And now, with my great pleasure, let's kindly invite Mr. David Wang, President of Corporate Communications Huawei, to give the welcome speech. Welcome, David.
Honorable Madam Ge Siying, Deputy Director General of Chinese National Commission for UNESCO, Consular General of Malaysia in Guangzhou. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's summit. Technology makes changes. In the past 200 years, industrialization created much more wealth than in the past 2,000 years. And in the past 20 years, digitalization has brought major changes to individuals, families, and organizations. The steam engine transformed production. It created equal opportunities for people from different physical strengths. The internet bridged the gap between cities and the countryside. Whoever is connected has equal access to information and opportunity to express themselves. In recent years, artificial intelligence is making advanced expertise more inclusive. Through big data and algorithm, smart services can benefit more people than ever. Over the past 20 years, about 5 billion people have been connected to the internet. During this time, connection speed has increased from, let's say, 64 kilobits to 2 meg, to 100 meg, to fiber to the home today. The way we communicate has changed from text and voice to multimedia and a high-definition video. Looking forward, there are still 2 billion people still not migrate to internet. But connectivity is not just about people. The Internet of Things is still in its very early stage. We need to build another 200 billion connections between things. There will be the foundation of the smart city, smart home, smart driving, smart building, and smart factories. Huawei's vision is to bring digital to every person, home, and organization for a fully connected, intelligent world. Huawei will continue to invest heavily into R&D to develop better products, to make communication more affordable, and to make the quality better than ever. To do so, we have invested $150 billion during the past 10 years. And we have more than 111,000 R&D engineers working in R&D. But we still have a long way to go. It will take a decade to build a fully connected, intelligent world. This world will belong to future generations. It will be built by their talents. So we have a long commitment to empowering young communities and sharing our knowledge with them. Huawei provides multi-knowledge sharing platform, including ICT academics, Seeds for the Future, ICT competition, and other regional programs. These platforms benefit over more than 100 countries and hundreds of thousands of students. And we are happy to provide internship and job opportunities to them as well. To conclude, I would like to thank all the universities, teachers, experts, and officials who support ICT competition, and my congratulations to the winning teams. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you for this kind welcome speech. And also thank you for your greetings to our summit and to our friends. Ladies and gentlemen, next let's invite our next leader, Ms. Ge Siying, Deputy Director General of the Chinese National Commission for UNESCO. Let's welcome Ms. Ge Siying.
Mr. Wang Chendong, President of Huawei Corporate Communications Department, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a great honor to join you at the ICT Accelerating Education Transformation Summit hosted by Huawei.
First of all, on behalf of the Secretariat of the Chinese National Commission for UNESCO, allow me to express my heartfelt congratulations on the success of the summit. We're now at a critical juncture of digital transformation around the world. We need technological innovation to drive development and meet challenges more than ever. Digital education can help us to respond to the challenges and achieve the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The summit is playing a critical role to promoting educational development, and it is hosted just in time. Huawei is a leading provider of ICT solution, and the company has been driving digital transformation agenda around the world. Huawei is also a major partner of UNESCO. It has been supporting educational transformation of UNESCO, especially when it comes to ICT driving educational transformation. Just now, David Wang introduced to us the breakthroughs of Huawei in ICT development, educational improvement, and talent cultivation. And this shows the efforts Huawei has made to improving education quality. In recent years, the international community has paid great attention and invested heavily in the development of digital education. The UN Transforming Education Summit called on countries to cooperate and act together with special attention to the use of digital technologies to drive transformation and improve equity and quality in education. And China's Ministry of Education launched strategic actions to deepen digital transformation in education in 2022. And since the inception of the transformation with the National Smart Education Platform as the foundation, China's Ministry of Education has extensively pooled massive resources, continuously promoted large-scale application, and actively expanded cooperation and exchange. As Mr. Huai Jinpeng said in the summit, we are now moving from connection first, content as the key, and cooperation oriented to integration, intelligence, and international cooperation. We are carrying out application and demonstrations on a larger scale, and we are developing China's digital education into a practical platform for implementing the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative. We hope to develop a platform to pool the resources so as to serve the all-round development of talent. We hope to carry out international exchanges at a higher level and build an international platform for exchanges. In this process, we need the support of all parties, including Huawei as a Chinese company. The digital transformation of education is also on top of the agenda of UNESCO. We have had practical cooperation and organized influential events. For example, the summit in 2015. And since 2019, we have been holding the Artificial Intelligence and Education Summit. We have reached consensus, and these consensus documents have made an impact in the industry. Last year, UNESCO has approved the establishment of the International Institute for STEM, which will be officially established in Shanghai, and this will provide an important platform for promoting global STEM education development and exchange and cooperation. The Chinese Commission for UNESCO will continue to support Huawei. We will work with global partners to make greater contributions to the digital transformation of education and our shared development and prosperity. And lastly, I sincerely wish the summit a complete success.
And also, we would like to thank to Ms. Ge for attending this summit in person. And not only she, but also lots of leaders of UNESCO pay so much attention to our summit, to our ICT competition. And thanks a lot to them for their support to our summit and to our ICT competition. Next, let's invite Mr. Bai Tao, Huawei AI System Architect, to enlighten all of us here with this keynote on strategic thinking on the future development of AI models. Let's welcome Mr. Bai Tao.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the 2024 ICT Accelerating Education Transformation Summit. Today, I'm going to talk about and share with you my strategic thinking on the future development of AI models. And the background is that AI large models is a common and basic technology in the AI era. It is shaping our work and life. It will also exert an impact on the future way of education. And moreover, AI large models is a hot topic in the industry. Inside Huawei, AI large model is a strategic topic, and the company has discussed this topic at different levels. So today, I want to take this opportunity to share with you our strategic thinking on the future development of AI models. Let's do a recap first. If we look back at the history, we will realize that every breakthrough in root technologies will generate in new industries, which will come with new ecosystems. And foundation technology breakthroughs and ecosystem prosperity drive productivity to grow in leaps and bounds. We have already been through the age of steam, electricity, and information, and we're now in the age of intelligence. Last year, Gen AI, represented by ChatGPT, is driving social productivity to grow in leaps and bounds. Over the past years, Huawei attached great importance to ecosystems. We invested in the ICT industry continuously. We worked with academia, standards organizations, open source organizations, suppliers, partners, and alliances in building a diverse ecosystem. And in this process, we shared profits with our partners and customers so as to drive the prosperity of the ICT industry. Looking to 2030, digital economy will bring a lot of opportunities. And AI is changing the way we work and live. For example, automated programming. A Sora model released by OpenAI can create stories innovatively. It is impacting industries. According to the 2030 report, by 2030, the total size of the market will reach 2.8 trillion. Huawei, as a computing power and cloud service provider, will work with partners in equipment, basic software, and application software to seize the opportunities and share the growth. These opportunities are brought by the growth of AI technologies. And then let's have a recap of the three waves of AI development. The first wave, or the first stage, was in 1956 to 1997. At that time, it's driven by human roles and machine execution. It's the phase of automation. machines automated the control of industrial production at a large scale. And the second wave was, or the second stage, was between 1997 to 2020. The basis is massive data plus deep learning technologies. And AI was able to provide objective feedback to the physical world. And the model identification system and recommendation systems were built. And machines were able to recognize objects and portray user behaviors. CV-based smart cities came into reality, and NLP technology-based intelligent customer services were applied on a large scale. And AI 4S industry is just emerging, and the third wave is the stage we are in now. The release of ChatGPT 3 in 2020 marked the beginning of large models, and Gen AI-based foundation models are able to make something out of nothing. And AI, for the first time, is able to understand the intent of people. It is also able to have cognitive capabilities of the physical world. And machines are now able to assist people or replace people in complicated work. And in the future, level 4 or level 5 autonomous driving will be possible. Against the trend, we believe that there are two potential directions. First, AI will be more and more AGI in the future, which is general purpose AI. But it will take a long time, 10 years or even more. Secondly, AI large models have already moved from single modality to multiple modality. And for a long time in the future, the multimodality and multitask coordination system driven by large model will be the mainstream. However, we now have 8 anxieties over the implementation of AI large models. First, data. Data is the key to large models. In the future, as large models develop, high-quality data will be exhausted, and the second anxiety is over computing power. We estimate that GPT-5 requires 50,000 GPU chipsets. However, as we all know, the chipsets are in short supply. A third anxiety is over network. In the AI era, we still don't know what network is needed by the data center. The network products will be redefined in the AI era. And the fourth anxiety is over models. Now we have large models from different vendors, which are competing with each other. And there's still controversy over open source of large models or not. And we still don't know the way forward. In the future, large models will be the infrastructure for all the applications. And the current IT software stack will be redefined. And from ecosystem perspective, the northbound and southbound API interfaces will also be restructured in the new IT software stack. And with the substitution of people in some scenarios, we will need to have edge and device software that are solely used for AI. However, we haven't seen that as of now. And moreover, internet companies are applying AI large models at a large scale. However, this is not seen in other industries as well. Despite the 8 anxieties, we have also seen 8 opportunities that come with these anxieties. We believe that we will need to go through 3 stages for the large-scale deployment of AI large models. And the first stage is model competition, driven by leading internet companies. At that stage, companies are pursuing larger computing power so as to train large models with larger computing power. And the purpose is to from 1 billion to 10 billion scale large models. And in this stage, the focus is on 2C scenarios. And in the second stage, companies will restructure IT software and ecosystem. This will be driven by the software leaders in the ecosystems. And at this stage, AI will serve as the foundation, and companies want to replicate the success of internet companies in the first stage. And companies want to use embedded AI capabilities in the production systems to improve productivity, and the focus is on 2B scenarios.
In the third phase, we are exploring the application of AI on devices and site by in-depth innovation in a certain scenario to define product forms and open up new industry space. This phase is characterized by AI reconstruction, and a large number of AI industries and products will go from 0 to 1. The focus will be on 2B, 2C, and 2H scenarios. In recent years, we also see many new companies are combining intelligence and robotics. They are making robots for different scenarios. Now, I'd like to share with you some of Huawei's strategic thinkings on these 3 stages. First, the model computation stage. Here, we will mainly address 4 issues: data, computing power, network, and model. As models become more complex, the requirements for data sets will also be higher. Data will be separated from models to form an independent industry. High-quality data synthesis technologies will emerge, and data business giants will emerge. Yesterday, I read a report. SKAI, the company, the market value has exceeded $13.8 billion. In the second stage, still in the first stage, the computing power will be more important. Superpod will be the basic unit of AI computing cluster in the future. Only computing power vendors with deep engineering capabilities can foster this competitiveness, and the energy consumption of single AI cluster will exceed 100 megawatts. Therefore, the layout of AI computing cluster and supporting energy supply will profoundly affect future urban planning. Computing power will become an integral part. Third, in the cloud era, computing and networks in DCs of large internet companies are constructed horizontally and hierarchically. In the AI model era, networks will become part of the computing power. Computing and networks will be deeply integrated. We want to fully utilize the computing power of each chip. That will become the core goal of clusters. The demand for cross-DC computing network will rise, and the cross-DC compute power utilization will be significantly improved. We believe that for a long time, the larger the model, the better the results, and general models and domain-specific models will coexist for a long time. Multi-model, multitask collaboration systems based on large models will be an important direction in the next 5 to 10 years. Next, our thinking on the second phase. So here we want to mainly address the software stack and the ecosystem reconstruction issues. You can see this picture at the heterogeneous computing framework. The whole picture will be redefined. On the original AI framework layer, large-scale distributed training and distributed inference components will be reconstructed. The L0 layer of the foundation model will emerge. As the application entry, all the applications will be AI native, and the SDK will be reshaped. An application orchestration framework based on the AI models will be generated, and the vector database products will be reconstructed. At the same time, the full-stack ecosystem of the original IT software stack will be reconstructed as well. That involves standards formulation, though the landscape is far from clear. Multiple vendors will continue to exist for a long time. Finally, our thinking on the third phase. In this phase, we mainly want to address two anxieties: application and edge device cloud synergy. We believe that AI models will spawn a large number of new products and industries at the edge and device side. And there will be higher demand in data security, service experience, and network costs. Only through edge device cloud synergy can we bring about good user experience and lower the costs. There will be new applications, products, and industries at the edge and the device side. As we predicted in Computing 2030, driven by AI models, a large number of embodied intelligent devices will emerge, including intelligent terminals, self-driving cars, so on and so forth. The smart city will be a comprehensive agent full of smart devices. Embodied intelligence devices will go beyond traditional devices, featuring ultra-low latency, ultra-high reliability, ultra-precise synchronization, and ultra-multi-concurrency. Huawei, as an ICT company, believes that in Phase 3, the demand for comprehensive computing power networks covering cloud, network, device, and edge will be stimulated, which will lead to end-to-end innovation opportunities. So it is not just about application, but also about communications. Facing these opportunities, in the next 5 years, Huawei plans to openly collaborate with the whole ecosystem. We will stick to the principle of hardware openness, open source software, partner empowerment, and talent development. We plan to develop more than 5 integrated system partners with a revenue of over more than 10 billion RMB, install more than 20 million open Euler commercial OSS, attract more than 4 million Mindspool community developers, and develop more than 20,000 application partners, more than 8 million Kunpeng developers, more than 5 million Ascend developers, and more than 10 million Huawei cloud developers. Talent is the foundation for the development of the AI ecosystem. In terms of AI talent cultivation, Huawei has tailored the training system for teachers, students, developers, and researchers. We will continue to drive the technological innovation of the AI ecosystem through a variety of programs such as the ICT Academy, Intelligent Base 2.0, ICT Competition, Ascend DevFest, and Ascend AI Innovation Competition. For better implementation of AI models, we must be keenly aware of the needs in different scenarios. We can all lead a change in the AI era because we know the best about our scenarios. Next, implementing large models is still in its early stage of development. The innovation and application is just the start. Everyone can contribute to the development of these new technologies. Looking ahead, the magnitude of change will go far beyond our imagination. We are surely to see more surprises, and the change brought by AI to the industries will be immense. Let's work together towards an AI large model era. Thank you.
So much for your keynote speech. Please have your seat. And in Mr. Bai's keynote speech, we can notice that it highlighted the immense potential of AI in shaping the ICT industry. Let's seize this opportunity to drive innovation, foster collaboration, and propel the industry forward into a future powered by AI. Thank you, Mr. Bai again for your valuable insights and contributions. Moving ahead, we will rely on our moderator, Ms. Tavsatanova Tamara, Executive Manager at Huawei ICT Talent Partner Development Department, and invited industry and academia experts to come on floor for the roundtable discussion on the topic of gearing up for the future in the context of education transformation. Now I would like to pass the torch to Ms. Tamara to take the lead in facilitating our roundtable discussion. Let's welcome Ms. Tamara.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and all the participants. And we welcome you to the roundtable discussion dedicated to the transformative power of information and communication technology in education. My name is Tamara, and I'm so much pleased to be the moderator of today's discussion. So we know that we gather today to discuss and explore the dynamic landscape of education and innovative strategies which are needed to move us forward towards the future where learning is more accessible, inclusive, and even impactful than ever before. And we are looking forward to the enriched discussions going ahead with our industry leaders and guests. And I'm happy to introduce you all our guests. First of all, Dr. Esther Tara Muria, Principal Secretary, State Department for Technical Vocational Education and Training, Ministry of Education, Kenya. Welcome. Professor Paulinus Tujoki-Okwele, Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Colleges of Education, Nigeria. Mr. Sitfong, Chief of International Institute for Online Education, UNESCO, ICT. Dr. Arturo Reyes Sandoval, Director General, Instituto Politécnico Nacional, Mexico. And Dr. Fuad Mohammed Al-Ansari, President of the University of Bahrain, Kingdom of Bahrain. And Mr. Chen Ming, Product Management Expert in Education Industry from Huawei. We already know that and discussed during today's summit that ICT is accelerating education, and we know that technology plays a crucial role here, and integrating technology into education, that one ICT fosters their role for getting the high skills for the student success in this evolving workforce landscape. And my question would come here to Dr. Esther. How you would estimate and describe the impact of progressing use of ICT in technical vocational training, which challenges that you have encountered with, and how you are countering with them in Kenya, and at the same time, how you think that the use of digital technologies ensures that the students get those skills which are highly needed to improve the employment rate in Kenya.
Thank you very much this morning for having me. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to be part of this high-level discussion on technology and use of technology, especially in education, where I belong. Like you have been told, I am from Kenya, where we are making sure that either way, ICT is highly integrated into education, and that is how we are present in this competition, with our students participating and doing well in this competition. So we are glad to be part of this engagement. Of course, in Kenya, ICT is highly integrated in the management of education, and this is to do with the training of students and ensuring that as much as possible, students are not only getting trained in the use of ICT, but the acquisition of the ICT infrastructure is active in our country, and especially where I come from, we have to integrate education and industry. And the use of ICT is one of the ways in which we are using technology to ensure that students are linked to industry, not only in the reaching out of material, but also areas of engagement with industry using technology. Therefore, in Kenya, we are trying as much as possible to integrate technology, not only in training, but also in access to industry, especially in technical education. Of course, we have quite a number of challenges, like you have asked, because training is still going on and not at too much an advanced level like in a country like this one. Secondly, access to infrastructure itself is quite a challenge, because infrastructure, technological infrastructure is still something to reckon with, and that is why we are going ahead to leverage on the levels of organizations such as Huawei, so that we are able to enable the establishment of infrastructure as it should be for both training, access to industries, and all other infrastructure that is needed in the training. I must say, overall, that the training has gone to an advanced level, so that, like I said, we are able to participate in such training, but access to absolute both technology and infrastructure is a challenge, and that is why we are collaborating with such organizations to be able to address some of those challenges. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Esther. So I heard that two challenges are here. One is teaching quality, another one is infrastructure. And at the same time, I wanted to inquire which are the unique ways that you're using in Kenya to enhance threat and make it more efficient. And at the same time, what are the further plans and future prospects? Which resources need to be mobilized in order to boost those so much needed technical skills in Kenya? So,
unique ways include change of policy in education, where we are not only using the traditional methods of teaching, but we are changing towards access to technology, like I've already said, where we are ensuring that technology is mainstreamed in each and every one of the teaching infrastructure as much as we could be. So policy is towards ICT. Secondly, like I have said, is active acquisition of technology in teaching and training. For instance, the government now is very active in even ensuring 100% infrastructure even in the far-flung institutions, where as much as possible, each and every child, as much as possible, is at least introduced to technology and is able to use a smartphone, if not higher infrastructure that is soft. And a lot of course, challenges are there, especially the last mile connectivity to internet is a big challenge. But the government again is active in ensuring that connectivity 100% to the farthest villages is to be achieved. But of course, there is also the challenges of financing that kind of infrastructure, acquisition of the gadgets to be able to be used by even the primary school children in the villages. Access to those villages is a challenge, but the government is doing everything possible and leveraging with institutions that are way ahead to ensure that this can be done as much as is practically possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aseth. And we understand that a lot of work is being done, and the work is also ahead. And we wish the great collaborations and work ahead and the resources to be mobilized so that to boost the needed skills in Kenya. And as we already discussed with Dr. Ether, that teaching quality is one of the challenges. And everyone understands and it is recognized that teachers are those key stakeholders in every educational ecosystem, and their professional development and their digital literacies and how they know ICTs, this is very much important. And I would like here to address to Professor Paulinus, and we know that with the mission and vision of National Commission for Colleges of Education is there to build those centers of excellence in teaching and learning, and based on your colleges, where there will be first-class teachers. And would you share with us, based on your blend of expertise and experience, which are those unique ways to make the mechanisms of continuous professional development of teachers so they can be always upgraded with the skills in this evolving learning environment, and which initiatives which you are taking, and at the same time, how to involve here peer collaboration and teachers' exchange of their experience?
Thank you. Great audience. I'm glad to be part of this discussion. In my own country, we have a new government in place. Just will be a year old by 29th of this month. And the government has rolled out system-wide policies to transform education. These policies are captured as DOTS. DOT is an acronym, D-O-T-X. D stands for data. Then O stands for out of school children education, because we have so many who have been displaced or are not in schools. Then the T stands for teachers development and training, while X stands for skill development and acquisition. Now you find out that these four pillars I've just mentioned, that the teacher has a major role to play. So the government, the idea behind these policies is just for the country to transform its educational system. And for you to have a transformed education, you must have a transformed teacher, or transformed teachers to be the ones that will implement the best when it comes to the educational process. Now, my own agency, our job is to regulate the training of teachers. We have 3 tiers of the tertiary education in Nigeria. We have the universities, we have the polytechnics, we have the colleges of education. So the major mandate of the College of Education is to train these teachers. So we supervise and evaluate and monitor the training of these pre-service teachers. So we have teacher educators there. Now, we need to have these teachers to fit into the evolving learning environment. Presently, as the DOT speaks for itself, we have some policies now where we can have continuous programs, professional development of the teachers. And this has to do with taking some steps. The first step is we need to carry out data about the teachers. That means we need to have needs assessments. We need to know these teachers, where they are, because we have different areas and specializations. So we need an accurate and not just accurate, we also need to be very definite when we get this very data to know who and what they need and kind of training needs that these teachers will benefit from. So the first aspect is to carry out a need assessment. Having carried out this need assessment, having known the correct number of teachers that need the training and the type of training that they need, then we'll go over to establish training programs based on the data available. These training programs have to cut across all the different types of education or the different levels of education that we have. And now that will determine the kind of training we are going to give the teachers. And then how do we carry out this CPD, this continuous professional training? Of course, we are leveraging on the idea because we know already the world has gone digital. So we're leveraging on technology, and then we train them. We use different methods, and online platforms are there for us to do that. We use webinar, seminars, symposia, and sometimes we'll also do physical, the hybrid in nature too, because of our level of technology. We'll also go by hybrid. We have a mix of both the online and then the physical interactions. And now while doing this as well too, we'll also try to consider the levels that this training will be done based on our baseline study we have known what the teachers have. That's one aspect we do, but we will continue because the training might not go to everybody at the same time. So we will also advance to have mentoring and coaching, where those who are already conversant, who are already having the technology or know what to do, we teach other younger ones. Even in our pre-service teaching school system, we also have what we call teaching practice, where the student teachers are coached or mentored by the advanced teachers. So another method here, we use mentoring and coaching. Again, we'll go further to carry out some active research on some other areas. Then we also have to carry out evaluation from time to time to see which method is working better for us. And more importantly, we have a reward system, because these ones who are trained and those who are training, they need to be rewarded. We give recognition in certificates and also other reward system. Now, if I don't know, if I ask again how we can do the collaboration.
Correct.
Yeah, of collaboration, or collaborative exercise, or the training that goes by collaboration also helps in improving the teachers. Now in this area, we carry out we establish what we call communities of practice, or some persons call it a professional planning network. Through this, we now get teachers who are of like minds, or either it can cut across age grades, it can cut across disciplines. They form communities of learning. So all the teachers, they interact on regular basis to discuss about the new technology, and they also interact. Not only that, there are challenges they discuss about to make them to be very much updated, or to very much have what it takes currently that's happening in using ICT in lesson delivery. And so doing, they can do this through their social media groups and different other means they can do this. They can also initiate a kind of student and teacher workshop, special workshop to do this. We'll go further to encourage peer observation. Nothing wrong from a teacher observing the other teachers in your own classroom and see the technologies you deploy and how you go about carrying out the lesson delivery. We also encourage co-planning and co-teaching. So some teachers can come together and plan their lessons together. They can also teach. I mean, where you are best, you can co-teach, a kind of a team teaching. We do all this to see how these teachers can improve their skills, especially the digital skills, because that is what is invoked now. And finally, we'll also carry out from time to time evaluation to see how these ones are effective. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Paulino. Seems that you have a comprehensive framework of to carry out the CPD, like continuous professional development for teachers, starting from assessments, identifying these gaps, and carry out the technical development of those teachers based on these identified gaps. And therefore, you also mentioned that you have workshops, symposiums to make more engagement with them, and even different levels of teachers. I heard like higher level, experience level, and even involving students as to become as teachers. So we understand that you are using different ways. This is very curious to know. And at the same time, I want to ask you how you would identify the impact of the collaboration with Huawei and building Huawei ICT academies based on your technical colleges. What are the outcomes here, and what are your future plans here to develop more colleges and bringing ICT academy to the colleges of education?
Yeah, one of the greatest things that have happened to our country is the collaboration with the Huawei ICT Academy. Not only in teacher preparation, even in our universities, you can take the record in the past years. Our students have always featured in global competitions like this. I was here last year when our students won grand finale in some competition, in some aspect of the competition. We're here again, I'm sure they win some laurels too before they go. Now, we have really changed, our ICT have really changed the ICT landscape of our country. And the partnership has been working very well. So many of our students and teachers have benefited from the training of Huawei, and right now, so many of them who have graduated at the university level, some of them already are certified, industry certified, and they're making waves in the industry. For the College of Education, we started the partnership late. It was in 2022, right there in Barcelona. We signed our MOU. Our first batch of students are there now, taking the training from your ICT school, and we are looking forward that we are going to expand this because we are already recording good results. We look forward for expansion. So many of the schools that have not keyed in, we have some resistance in the initial stage. We've been talking to them, and we believe with the output of what we are seeing, so many will key in very soon. The government so much is keen to see that that our school system has the digital story to tell any point in time. So we have an MOU with a body, a regulating agency like ours, and we are trying to see that as many, we have over 200 of these colleges in our country, both private and government. Especially, we are now focusing on the government schools, which are close to about 70. So we want to see that as many as they will be part of it. And then the aspect of our teachers, because we also have the teacher educators, the educators who teach the pre-teachers or the teachers to be. So we want to see that they are giving serious attention, or that they are giving special training too. And we are looking at a situation where we are going to review our curriculum, because we have the 5-year cycle, which, of course, with the way technology is going now, 5 years, if you review after 5 years, before you even implement, it will be obsolete. But we're looking at another means of having a short-term reviews of a curriculum to integrate ICT, so that we will key into the learning environment. So we have been doing very well, and we hope to really expand in our collaboration, and finally, to also go into some research together with Huawei in some specific areas of teaching and learning problems, to find solutions to them. So we believe that this partnership is a very good one, and we were even given a blank check. We have not used 1/10 of it, and we believe something good will come out of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Paulina. So we may expect more ICT academies, personal colleges will appear in Nigeria, and at the same time, we wish you further advancements in the directions of continuous professional development of teachers and building your centers of excellence in learning in Nigeria. Thank you very much. And we will continue the topic of technical professional development of teachers also with Mr. Sitfong. We know that since its establishment, UNESCO ICT has attached great attention to the empowerment of ICT in higher education. And here I would like everyone to understand UNESCO ICT's role in helping higher education institutions to cultivate talent and continuously to improve teaching quality and teachers' professional development. Mr. Sitfong, can you here share your best practices and also highlight the higher education cooperation initiatives which UNESCO ICT is running in this direction?
Sure. Thank you, Ms. Tamara, and good morning. And first of all, I want to say thank you to Huawei to inviting UNESCO ICT to attend such a prestigious event. And As an UNESCO organization, UNESCO actually has been focusing on the digital capacity building for university teachers from developing countries since day one. So similar to what Huawei has been doing in the ICT talent development area, we are also, in a sense, a ecosystem. We launched the International Institute of Online Education, IIOE, back in December 2019. And as of today, the alliance consists of over 100 university partners. Actually, some of the partners are Huawei's ICT academies as well. And we also have over 30 plus industry partners, including Huawei and also other ICT and tech companies. So we are working very actively and also very closely with our university partners and also the industry partners on ICT related courses. Nowadays, more particularly in the collaboration on the generative AI courses as well. So thanks to Huawei, we are able to offer a variety of the ICT courses. We make those available on our IIOE learning platform. So another thing I would like to mention is that we are working very closely with our partners as well to come up with projects like the micro-certification program, which actually is proposed a new, I would say, new approach for the reskilling and upskilling of our teachers' digital capacity. And on top of that, we are also jointly developing the Cloud Magazine, and also spend some effort on our joint research with our partnerships. So in short, a lot of things has been going on in the UNESCO ICT, and we are very proud and happy and also honored to have Huawei as one of our strategic partners to promote the digital transformation in the area of higher education. Thank you. Back to you, Ms. Tamara.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Sitfong. So I do understand that here you have your own already program of collaboration with partners and building academies based on the same, similar as Huawei is doing with ICT Academy. So thank you very much for your insight for this. And let's come to Mexico, right? Dr. Arturo. Here, actually, I want to mention that it is recognized that in order to build high-quality cultivation talent ecosystem, it is necessary to have the bridge between the industry and education in order to bring the conversation from theory to practice. And for IPN, I would like to understand which are the key strategies that IPN is elaborating to foster the talent development in Mexico. And in this direction, which specific initiatives and programs has your university already aligning with, and which has been the outcomes of these cooperations?
First of all, well, thank you very much to Huawei and Tamara for allowing us to participate and to provide some insight into how we are working in Mexico. Mexico, as you know, is a large country with more than 130 million people living in the country. And for the Polytechnic, National Polytechnic Institute, is the top STEM institution in Mexico. We graduate the top engineers and scientists, and in medicine we're strong. But we have still great challenges in our institution and in our country. So we know we have to provide education to the most humble people, to the people with the poorest background. That's what our institution is doing, and we do it in one way. We're lucky to have in Mexico still a combination of public and free education or universities, and also private ones. Polytechnic is one of the largest, perhaps the second largest public institution. We have 220,000 students. We have 20 high schools and 32 units all over the country to provide education at university level, and 23 research and innovation centers. So we know we have to keep providing with free education to the people in Mexico. And what we do also is that we have a strong curricula. It's very demanding, but the curriculum has, at some point, has to be fixed and very strong. And how do we keep up with the developments of the industry? What we do is we liaise with companies, with the leading companies, and we're lucky in Mexico that the nearshoring makes large companies, and very important from all over the world, to establish in Mexico, because we are neighbors of the United States. So we provide a lot of equipment to the United States. So our strategy relies on liaising with companies like Huawei, having agreements. So whatever we provide with the curriculum, we can also provide something additional, understanding what companies are needing, what is the market requiring nowadays, because we cannot move all of our programs to adapt to the companies, but we can do additional activities. The Huawei Academies is one example where we work, and we provide through the agreement with Huawei, and this has a social component as well, because with the agreement with Huawei and the academies, we can provide access to the training that is required in the market and in Huawei to very humble people. Otherwise, they would not be able to afford to study and to have all the accreditations. So I see it as a social component, and we have to make sure that we liaise with the top companies from all over the world to be able to provide those additional requirements, soft skills, because our engineers are very, very knowledgeable in engineering, but we know they require lots of soft skills that can come from the ICT academies.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arturo. So we understand that Mexico has its specific educational landscape, and you have your own challenges. First of all, is a huge target audience. Secondly, is the specific that the training should be free of charge, because we're talking about the humble students. And at the same time, you are knowing these challenges, trying to find out those partners and those alliances which are needed in Mexico, as Huawei and other partners as well, I think. So, and this, I hope that this will promote better talent development in Mexico. And I want anyway to ask you one thing, because we are knowing that you have upcoming partnership with Huawei, like an upgrade level, I would say IC partner soon, and how you think our collaboration and partnership will change with this next level, and which will be your future plans?
Yes, with the academies, we are training our students and our own teachers, professors, and educators, and we're looking inwards to our institution, and we are collaborating and participating in the seats for the future and top minds as well. So we see it in a way that Huawei and ourselves are taking the students by the hand and taking them to reach positions that otherwise they would find it very difficult. But we want, with Huawei, to become the first institution in Mexico to have a 5G campus. There is nothing yet like that, and we know we can do it with Huawei. We're working on it, and we will be the first support center, the ICT support center in Mexico. And with that, in that way, we're not only looking inwards to our institution, but we know we can provide all the training and all the support to other institutions. And with this agreement that we're going to be signing tomorrow, we're going to become the first education institution that is a support center in Mexico.
Exactly, and now I would say more. First and for a while, unique ISC partner in Mexico. And I want to wish us success here, because we want also to be like the part of like a partner in the cultivation of those talents in Mexico who will find better job opportunities and whom will grant better career access. Thank you, Dr. Arturo. And now I would like to then everyone to know, as actually the University of Bahrain is the largest public university in the Kingdom of Bahrain. And our cooperation started since 2016. And since 2017, I know that your students are very much actively participating in competitions and winning the best prizes. And here, Dr. Fuad, I would like to ask you to share University of Bahrain vision on delivering high-quality education to meet the ICT industry requirements and needs, and which initiatives and collaborations you are also exploring in the Kingdom of Bahrain to grant the better success opportunities to the students.
Thank you so much, Tamara. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Huawei, for hosting us in this beautiful city. And thank you, Tamara, for this wonderful setup. The Kingdom of Bahrain is a small island nation in the Arabian Gulf. We are situated in a very competitive region, yet collaborative. And the ICT AI is a core part of the national strategy. Being the largest public institution in the country, we are reflecting that strategy in our strategy. So for the kingdom to have an implementation plan, they move towards creating a suitable ecosystem that will reflect the agility of the island and also satisfy the aspiration of our young population. To do so, they are focusing on the infrastructure. They are focusing on the legislative part. They are focusing also on creating a highly capable pool of talent. And this is where the role of the university comes. So to reflect that, we're also reflecting the national strategy in the strategy of the university. And by doing that, we are focusing on our infrastructure in the university itself. We're focusing also on our education mode. And we are also trying to adapt and change our curriculums on a yearly basis. But then we saw that there is a very shortcoming in that. Courses are not easy to change so quickly. We shifted similar to the Mexican experience. We are shifting our role. We are not just educators now, we are facilitators. So the portion of education is getting smaller part, the portion of facilitating is getting a larger part. We're establishing collaborative networks with all the large ICT companies, where we are encouraging our students to take professional certificates. And by doing that, we are incorporating the professional certificates in our courses. By doing so, our graduates are, when they graduate, they are market ready. They're already familiar with all the technology of the large companies. And at the same time, they had a great role a great part of training. We are also trying to build relationships with all the ICT providers, all of them, without any exception. And we are having a lab for each one of them in the university, where our students are exposed to that technology. And by doing so, all of our graduates are market ready.
Thank you, Dr. Fuades. What was a great, precise statement, what you said. We're not just educators, we're facilitators. It's exactly, this is their role. And as you also mentioned, the infrastructure, I know if it is not a secret that you're also trying to launch the new lab based on the University of Bahrain, right? And to open the more access to students for the practice hands-on. And this is, as far as I remember, network lab, right?
Sure. This is one of the latest labs, and this is in collaboration with Huawei. It was opened just last week. The collaboration with Huawei is, as you said, it started in 2016, and it culminated in this lab. But we aspire for greater relationship. We want to become a support center in the country and maybe for the region. And the sky is the limit in terms of collaboration with Huawei.
That is great. And as we were mentioning collaboration with Huawei, then what are your thinking about the key, future objectives of this cooperation in order to develop more digital talents in the Kingdom of Bahrain? How our cooperation will go?
As I mentioned before, being a facilitator means we need to give access to our students to the technology of those companies. And this could only happen through greater links with those companies. So by first step was opening up the Huawei lab, which is giving access to our students to all Huawei courses, most of Huawei books. But at the same time, we want to open up our role is not just towards our students. We have a national objective. So by being a support center, we will open up Huawei services to other universities in the island and other students. So we aspire to do that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fuad, for sharing this insight into the talent ecosystem in Bahrain. Thank you. And as we already started to mention the infrastructure with you, I think we should continue with this topic. And I would like our expert to present educational solutions, accelerating digital transformation, driving innovation, and shaping the future through technology. I would like to invite Mr. Chang-Ming. I hope that he's going to share with us some presentation.
很高兴跟各位专家。
I'm very glad to share with you Huawei's practices and experience in smart education. In the education industry, Huawei's vision is to make education more equitable, high quality, efficient, personalized, and smart. Think of the journey. In the future, every teacher and student will have an AI assistant to support education. And we can have knowledge graph for all the courses. And the process will be recorded. We respect the differences between the students and the teachers. Our ultimate aim is to provide innovative talent to the society. Smart education is already a trend. We leverage innovative technologies to facilitate the transformation of education, and this is a common path for all the industries. So based on the experience of different partners, Huawei has defined our vision and strategy for accelerating intelligence for education based on one system and two wings. Huawei's intelligent education is based on the intelligent computing center. The teachers and the students are the two main players, and we provide services regarding teaching, research, management, and services. And the two wings refer to the digital infrastructure and the data resource system. In this way, we'll be able to provide automated and intelligent education system to facilitate lifelong learning. And our ultimate aim is to guarantee equal and quality education for all. AI is everywhere. Our concepts are already changing in the education industry. We are now collecting data throughout the educational processes to better support scientific evaluation and modification. We will embed ICT technologies in education to better serve the management personnel, teachers, and students. In the education industry, we're going to have a digital twin world which merges the physical world with the digital world. And the whole education process will be visible and manageable. And AI AI has already been embedded into many disciplines. And we believe that diversified computing power will be used for the education of all disciplines in the future, and the efficient digital infrastructure will be a prerequisite for intelligent education. Huawei provides solutions in all scenarios. In smart classroom, we provide the solution which centers around the students. This solution integrates Huawei Cloud, Huawei's tablets, smart cameras, and we are able to support group discussions within the classroom. And this solution can extend the classroom boundary. And in the campus, we provide campus management solution to help the management personnel manage the campus and provide services to teachers and students. And for scientific research, we provide network solution to better support information sharing. Moreover, we have a digital platform to support talent development. Every year, we are cultivating 200,000 students who join the ICT industry later. For example, we work with Ningxia University and built 300 smart classrooms. And we have an ecosystem which integrates teaching, learning, evaluation, management, and testing. And resources can now be shared flexibly and in a smart way. And in the UAE, we worked with Kabul to provide high-performance cloud services to universities in the UAE to help the management personnel improve efficiency of management. Huawei is now providing education ICT solutions for 120 plus countries and regions. And on the path towards digital transformation, we're working with our customers and partners to support the success of education. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chang, for your sharing insights and strategies to accelerate digital transformation in education. I am still wondering that probably we don't have time to open the Q&A session for the audience because I see that we're out of time. And now I would like to somehow conclude that throughout this dialogue we have explored the profound impact of ICT in different countries and fostering collaboration, empowering learners to thrive in a digital age. And I want to thank all the participants for your valuable insights, and let's continue to explore the possibilities of ICT in shaping a dynamic and inclusive educational landscape. And thank you once again for your participation and dedication to this important discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Tamara. Thank you for moderating, and thank all the esteemed guests and professors for your participating in this roundtable discussion. As we conclude, we've explored education transformation, its challenges and opportunities. Thank you to our panelists and audience for your passion and engagement. Today, we acknowledge the impact of women in leadership across various sectors, and we are honored to welcome Ms. Wu Haiyun, Visiting Fellow of the Harvard Yanqing Institute, as the moderator of our second roundtable discussion, Women in Tech. Welcome, Ms. Wu Haiyun.
Hi, very happy to be here and our distinguished guests. Hello everyone, I'm very happy and honored to be here, to be invited by the legendary company Huawei. Is a very good surprise for me, and the topic of this roundtable, which is Women in Tech, has been a topic I've been paying attention to and trying to promote for a very long time. So here in the roundtable, let me introduce our guests of this roundtable first. First, we have Madam Saruya Pausi. Yeah, she's the Consul General of Malaysia in Guangzhou. Welcome. Yeah. And the second guest is the representative of the women in ICT. Well, let's welcome Dr. North Al-Mujali, and she came all the way from Saudi Arabia, and it is the first time she came to China. So welcome. Yeah. And the third guest is not in the ICT area, but you know, ICT area is all about artificial intelligence, right? But Professor Xu is working on human intelligence, which is kind of the ultimate goal of the artificial intelligence. So let's welcome Professor Xu, coming all the way from Shanghai. She's a renowned neuroscientist and keen on research on the differences between male and female brains. So that's why she's here. Welcome. So because the roundtable's time is very limited, it's only took like 30 minutes. Well, at least I've been told that. So I will just go straight to the point. First, I will raise specific questions to each of our guests, and then maybe I will just can talk about some broader issue together. So my first question is to Madam Saruya Pausi. Okay, I would like to ask, what measures should governments and administrations take to encourage and support women in STEM fields? And since you came from and represent Malaysia, so could you provide us with one or two examples of policies implemented in Malaysia that have effectively promoted the advancement of women in, STEM fields?
Thank you, Ms. Wu. First of all, I'd like to thank Huawei for inviting me to speak today. It's quite an honor, especially with such a distinguished panel, looking as to I am not really in tech, but I'm glad to speak about my government's efforts in tech. Very quickly, because we don't have much time. First of all, in Malaysia, our figures in terms of education in science and technology is very strong. For example, our enrollment of women in higher education is higher than men. I think it's around 60% women, 40% men. And this is not something new. This is something that has been on for about 10 to 15 years. And then from that figure, we have, for STEM, we have slightly more women studying STEM at 53%. So you can see that women in science and technology in Malaysia is on paper is very strong, it's very established. And this is not, something that happened overnight. This is our government's policies that dates back decades, actually. And when I was researching to speak today, because when I grew up, I was never given the impression that men and women are supposed to do different things. Both, all of us, everyone, every student in Malaysia was encouraged to take sciences. And when I did my research, I realized this isn't by accident. These are policies introduced by my government in the 70s and 80s. Because we were an agricultural-based nation, and we have a very small population. So they put in place master plans to make sure that everyone, not just a certain segment of the Malaysian population, would bring the country up. It was a team effort. Everyone is in the game, the girls, the boys. So we had a master plan, which was aimed at science and technology. And then from that, but it was step by step. First, it was building the infrastructure, building the schools, then pushing on education. And then I think a few years later, there was a push on women. But that was a long time ago. So by the time, I started studying and getting into work, everything was in place. And these are the policies which kind of helped Malaysia get to where we are, despite our history and some of our disadvantages. So that's from me.
Could you give a more specific example of a specific strategy or this?
Oh, yes, I do, but I'm trying to stick to the time. So actually, specifically, there was a few things. We had master plans. One of the master plans introduced in the 80s was what we called the Look East policy. And that time, South Korea and Japan were leading in tech. So we thought, we need to emulate them. We need to do what they're doing. So that was one of the things. However, this is, things have changed, and my deputy prime minister was actually here in Shenzhen a few days ago, and he visited Shenzhen headquarters, and he revisited this Look East policy, and he says, now the Look East policy should be focused on China. China is leading the way in science and tech. So I think there will be some adjustments in our policy then. And since you asked for specific plans, we had in 1986, that's where we had the Women in Development. It was actually a plan, and all the ministries were told to implement everything on the ground to make a realization. And then in 1989, we had a national policy on women. So, this was going back years ago. So from now, we are benefiting from these policies, since those are my specific examples, yes.
Thank you for sharing this with us.
Thank
well,
you.
my second question is to Dr. Nov Amjali, and you are quite special because this year's Huawei ICT conference named 24 MVIs, the most valuable instructors, and you are one of them. And not only that, you were one of the 5 women to receive this honor. So can you share with us how you feel about receiving this award? And as for you, what's the thing that makes you feel most fulfilled as an instructor? Yeah, please.
Thank you so much for asking such a question, and thank you for inviting us here. I'm really feeling truly honored to be here and to be one of the most valuable instructors in Huawei event 2024. Not only this, what makes it really special is being one of the 5 women, as you mentioned, and represent women in the ICT field. And what makes it even more incredible, special, and more amazing is that I'm being the only Saudi female woman here in this special event. So it's truly an honor to represent my country, Saudi Arabia, in such a valuable event. And I think this is kind of like achieving part of the Saudi vision, which is Vision 2030, that has been announced by His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, which is pushing women to participate and increase the number of women in workplace. And this is my duty. My duty is to represent my country in such a valuable event such as Huawei, where we can see lots of professionals and students and play a good and show a good picture about my country. And when you asked about the other question, actually, or maybe I can add just that the winning of the most valuable instructors, as my colleagues here also have won, it's coming from a dedicated work, commitment, and lots of effort that we played with our local office, like in my country in Saudi Arabia. And from here I would like to thank Mr. Zuhair for the hard work in Huawei team in Saudi Arabia. Regarding the other part, it's my favorite actually. Being an instructor is really a hard duty, but it has a flavor of enjoyable thing when you see your students succeeding and growing and achieving their dreams. Because I'm internship students, so I supervise them in their workplace. So I remember 3 weeks ago when I went to supervise one of my students, I was really amazed that her manager was one of my students that I taught in 2016, and she was senior manager in that company, and I felt, wow, I can see the success. I made it. And one of my teaching philosophy as well is to create a safe environment in classroom. So it's free of guilt, it's okay to make error. This is what girls need, I think, in this world, and especially if they are missing this in their family. I value each student. Each student is valued. It's about who you are, not about the grades that you're making. I'm pushing them so hard to use the opportunities in the university, enjoy it, learn by experience. It's your opportunity to learn during your journey during the university journey. So my relationship with my student is not an instructor-student, it's more like colleagues. So I'm chatting with them in social media, I'm trying to be close to them. We open all the boundaries to make them feel like you are valued all the time. Thank you.
You appear so young, so confident, so powerful. So I want to add you another question. You know, have you met some obstacles or challenges, you know, when you grow up in your career path?
Like pursuing my education in the field or in general? Okay, I'm a PhD holder, so I pursue my education from my young age until now, and I was supported by the family, by the government, by the education sector. So we have a really supportive system in Saudi Arabia. And I've done my master's degree in Australia, so I was in a full scholarship paid by the Ministry of Education. And when I was working with Princess Noura University, they pushed me so hard to pursue my education and continue the PhD. And I was also full scholarship in the UK and University of Warwick, and this is what we need actually. The pushing and the supportive system is removing all the obstacles that we're facing. And I don't know if you heard about the quotes of Prince Mohammed bin Salman, that women are half of the society, so we want to be a productive half, and empowering women means empowering a nation. So when they invest in me, I will empower the whole country. So this is my duty in life, and I wish that my daughter and all my students will follow this direction, and thank you.
Thank you very much. And my next question is to Professor Xu, and we are very good friends, in fact. So I know a lot about her research, but here, can you kind of briefly introduce your discoveries after years of research on the differences between male and female brains, please?
So that's a really, first of all, I'd like to thank you for the invitation. That's a really big topic. I can only share my opinion about the sex differences, which is the topic that really fascinating me. And one of the reasons I was fascinated, I think it was because when I was growing up, I heard so much about you're a girl, so what? So, and as a scientist, you want to know whether they're truly like scientific based. So male and female are different. We're different genetically and externally, especially in the reproductive behaviors. And that difference can even be seen in, say, animals, right? You see like the animal mothers caring for the young, and the dads usually just wander off or defending the territory. So the scientific question we're interested in whether the brain also hardwired differences between male and the females, and how hardwired is it? So then, to put a long story short, is that we can identify difference in the brain between males and females. You can see the cell numbers are different in very small regions. But what I want to emphasize that difference is not functional. So because now we have ways to artificially stimulate the brain, so we can make the males to care for their pups, and also make the female who usually won't fight to fight. So, so even though the behavior or difference, the potential has always been there. So I think I really want to echo about the removing the obstacle and supporting system. I think the male and female difference in neuroscience, in my view, should not be viewed as hardwired functional differences. They should be viewed as a propensity, your more propensity, and so that lead into the importance of education and guidance, and then so. The nervous system it's not there to make you to become one way or another. It actually just provides the potential to become whatever you want to be, I guess. Yeah.
But how? Well, from the neuroscientist perspective, How can we, you know?
So let's say, like, you know, so the innate or the hardwired part, I think it played more role in animals, but then we are humans, so we had this like frontal cortex. So realizing that even though you have that propensity to be one way or another, you can still crack for it. And then, you know, you can encourage other people to be one or another. So realize you have that potential, you can tap into it. I guess it's, if we have to say why, with consciousness. To be aware of it and to consciously either make it better or correct for your shortcomings, and then you can achieve you know, your full potential.
Yeah, one thing I learned from Professor Xu, which is very useful for me, is you can constantly change yourself by changing your brains, by studying, or, you know.
So that's what people say in neuroscience, like, you know, if the brain has one trick, it's not, it's plasticity. That, you know, like, it's the ability to change. And then, you know, we invented language, or to, you know, the passing on of knowledge is to empower that plasticity. So then, you know, think about, like, say, 3,000 years ago, or like where there's no bicycle. Actually, if you give a bicycle to people that day, they can still learn it, but they don't have this, like, you know, situation to use that ability. So I think, you know, the human, the power, like, as individual, we're actually pretty weak as an animal, right? But we can learn, we figure out, and, you know, that's our actual power, the plasticity of it.
Okay, thank you. So now I'll raise some more broader issue that, you know, both of us can, you know, every one of us can offer their own opinion or, I don't know, thoughts, if you want. So one of the most commonly asked questions to female scientists or any successful career woman is, how do you balance your career and your family? Well, here I'm not going to answer such a cliche question, but I'm really interested to know, you know, what your thoughts about this phenomenon that such question prevails. That question has been so frequently posed to scientist women. So.
Yes, when we were talking behind the scene a few minutes ago, I told you that maybe we should ask men in this room, how do you balance your work and your life and work in terms of, like, seeing your family and doing your home duties and things? Why this question is always being asked to women? So we know what we want, what we want, and what we are doing, and we are really focused. When we are at work, we focus on work. When we are at home, we focus on our responsibilities and duties. And if that's not happening, how we can find successful women in the world leading countries and leading lots of their own businesses? I think in my perspective, the question that should be asked, how industries, how the society can help women find the balance between her work and life, and this can be done by either finding flexible working hours, or opening nurseries in their workplace, working from home opportunities, which has been proven to be effective during the pandemic. So my message to every man in this room: if you are leading a company and under you there are many women, please be kind with them and help them trying to find the balance to be more productive. We are productive, no deny that we're productive, but we need to find the right environment that will help us go smoothly as we work.
Yeah, Xiaohong, how many times have you been asked such a question?
Yeah, so you really bring up the point. I think, you know, there are several ways. I think so that question comes with the assumption that the women's main obligation is at home at first. You have to first be a mother, and then, you know, be a wife, and then you can have a career. So that there comes that assumption, which maybe hold true. It's like historic reason for that. And then, with that, there is also a reality that, the childbearing is, you have, as a, the reproductive just made, you have to carry the baby, and then in the first certain period of nurturing, you have to be like constantly with the baby. So there is a certain obligation there. So there's that reality you have to face. So that's the second reason why people ask that question. And I think the answer is, as you said, very like eloquent, is for the society to chip in. Because I jokingly say, if I raise a kid, the kid is going to grow up benefit the society, not me. So this is like sort of like, you shouldn't ask women to sacrifice herself, especially in this like modern days, sacrifice her career to fulfill her reproductive obligation. And I think the solution is for the society to recognize that and to provide really, really good support. And I think in countries like in the Northern European, they've done really well, like daycare and on-site daycare. And I think if you've done that, you actually liberate women to become more productive. You get a more harmony society. And then it's like I did not train this many years so I can feed my baby. But I had to feed my baby because if I cannot fulfill my first way of obligation, then the choice becomes whether I have a baby or have a career. So it's a difficult question. I think instead of keep on asking this question to women who are working, we should ask this question to policymakers, to the leaders, and how you are helping women to balance their life and and work.
Thank you. This question, I get this a lot, so I kind of already have an answer in my head because of the position that I hold, and I don't take it so negatively. I think for the fact that I think for a lot of people, I think most of the world, women are just pretty new to the working area and even newer to the leadership areas. And when this question is posed to me, I think it's actually good, because when people ask this, that means they are thinking about you in mind. They are thinking about you, the woman, as a mother. There's actually some concern in the question. So because of this, and I've had a lot of women bosses, which I've had as a mentor, and I realized one thing that you can do, because it's difficult to expect everyone else around you to change. So you yourself can change. So when I get this question, I've been thinking about it for many years. What it's taught me, at least, is as the woman, as the leader, I can set my own boundaries. I am not tied to anyone's laws or boundaries or instructions. For example, when I was walking in here with Felicia from Huawei, I said, can I leave right after this? I haven't seen my children in 5 days. So, so she was like, please do. So, this was something I had to learn gradually, these borders in my position. So that's my input to that question. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. And the second topic I want to raise, because I think it's quite ambivalent. It's about role model. I think many people believe, and in fact it's proved by some scientific research, that role model is very crucial to encourage women to pursue their career. So the society, like the media, the educational sector, should publicize more outstanding women as the role model, as a role model. But there's also a concern that emphasizing those incredible, successful women figure will put too much pressure on most women, because most of us are just ordinary people. So what do you think? And first of all, I want to ask, do you have any role models for you, personally?
Yes, without mentioning names, I think, but of course each girl has a role model, and her mother is her role model always. And I think there are lots of names, but without mentioning any name in such a platform, I would just answer your question and mention that I was one of those who have been struggling with role models, and I was in really high pressure of this high exposure to role models, especially in social media. You can open your phone every day and see lots of announcements in lots of social medias that I have earned such a certificate. I'm earning, for example, an award, and I have been hired by a huge company, and this is really, I think, stressful for women who are defining her own way of success. You know, there are many definitions of success. So I'm facing that a lot, actually, especially with young female students and young ladies. I think it's really stressful, as I said. So it's the role of social media to balance the message and to make it more transparent in terms of how these successful women have reached, you know, the top of the mountain. Did they just do it by that? Or did they pass by lots of challenges, difficulties, and let's say lots of things that makes them feel crying at night or thinking about stopping? So we need to balance the message and think about the whole story, not just the glamorous part of it. And we need also to redefine success. It's not also always about high-profile women. It's success. You can find success in even the daily working professionals. So this is, I think, my perspective in terms of balancing the message and redefining success. And each one of us has her own definition of success. And life is full of roads. So take your own and be special.
So the role model is very important, but in the same time, you want to know the details, know the story. Okay.
Yeah, so I also agree. I used to not think so much about role models, but recently a student, actually, like, she was a student, and when I was a PI, I became a junior PI, and she came to me like recently, and you know, because I got married and had my baby and had a kids and get tenured, like she sort of witnessed that, and she said to me that, you know, having you as a model told me that I can also do it. So I think, you know, the power of role model is not to make sure everyone do exactly what that model does. It's only to tell that person that if you want to be that way, it's possible. I think it's a showing of possibility. And I do think, so in that sense, I think a model is very important. My personal role model is actually just my mom. She's not a career woman at all. She sacrificed herself so much for just this family, right? Just like an ordinary mom, like cook at home, make sure our kids. But she had a like strong work ethic. At the same time, she maintained a career. She was self-reliance. You know, she makes her. You know, she's economically independent. I think that's very important to me. But she did not have a career. So I think I want to expand the idea of role models as what we were talking about this morning about ecosystem, about community. So it's not just one model that we all become, it's a group of people that you see. And in my own career, they've been powerful and really successful neuroscientists who are female, and that really inspired myself, and then, you know, sort of gave me confidence. So, and then for girls who grow up to see, like, you know, successful scientists that way, and they know that that's not off limit, because otherwise all they see are like, I'm not like, this may sound derogatory, but like, you know, women work at home, maybe they just don't even dream about the future beyond this home bound. So I think that's the power of model, is to show the possibilities.
Yeah, to show possibilities, to give inspiration, not very high pressure. Not like, you know, she can do it, why can't you? You know, something like that. So would you hear this?
Very quickly, I think it was a very good point about role models. So in keeping with the theme of science and tech, in Malaysia we have these very prominent women figures in tech. Our first astrophysicist was a woman. And she also headed our planetarium. She put our satellite, our Malaysia's first satellite, in the air. And then our DG of our biotech center is also a woman. And one of the first people that we have working on NASA projects from Malaysia was also a woman. So these kind of people really create the scene in Malaysia, at least for the women, that this is perfectly normal. These, I wouldn't say role models, but I think they give the impression it's all doable for everyone.
Yeah. Oh, our time is running short, so the last question. Well, the last question is actually not a question, but more than a scenario. If a very young girl came up to you and say, Madam or Professor, I'm very interested in your profession, I want to be it, and I want to be the best in it. Could you give me some specific advices? What do you say?
Since I'm in computer science field, I would advise the students to master the foundation and learn the basics and the fundamentals, especially in AI and data analysis and computer vision, information systems, and lots of topics. So at least go through all the knowledge and master them very well, and then get in deep and be updated. Because today yesterday was 4G, today is 7G, so we can't co-op with the evolving of the technology. So you need to read research paper, go to conferences, attend seminars as much as you can, and network with people. And think this is my message to all the students here. You are lucky because the room is full of professionals as well in the field. So communicate with them, try to network, and as well keep updated as much as you can. And if you have an opportunity to go in deep in your university and practice doing practical projects, please do it, because it's your opportunity in the university to do a practical project in safe environment, especially in computer science. You don't want to do that in the industry. You don't want to be hacked or to do like wrong data analysis. You will end up with maybe failure, which is not good for your reputation and your image. So my advice is use the university very well, enroll in any project. Not only this, because in computer science, we are really tech people. We work one-to-one in computers. That's why sometimes we're facing lack of soft skills in some students. So please develop your soft skills. This is what you need. Practice how you communicate with other people. Improve your team working skills, since we are working usually one-to-one. So improve your teamwork. This is what the industry wants. Try to manage your time very well. And that's all, I think. And seek mentorship. We're always there for you. Ask questions. If you are facing any difficulties, we're here. Don't hesitate to knock the door of your instructor and asking questions, even if it's like something related to your mental health or family issues. We can lead you and guide you to the right person.
So I think I have similar advice, but maybe I itemize it. First of all, is trust yourself. You have to believe you can do it. If you don't believe it, no one else will believe it. So you would have at least to believe that you can make it. And then second of all is like for women, especially to speak up. Because you have a tendency to become, in the background. You just really have to speak your mind to make sure that, you're heard. Whatever, either your opinion or contribution, you're heard. Then third is that you need to build your network. You have to, build your I think that's true for anyone who wants to succeed, but especially for women, because it's simply harder to build, a very good network. So build a network. And lastly, it would be to enlist your support. You need a support system, because as a female, you might want to have baby or have family. So you really need people to help you to cover your back, so you can actually have time to focus. So I think, So go back to that fourth item. Anytime you get question, trust that you're right, and then then speak up that I'm right, and then and then you let people hear it. You build a network that they know you can be right. And while you're doing all that, there are people who at home take care of your kid for you, so you can keep on being right. So just like that, I guess.
Yeah, I also think the supporting system is very, very crucial. And maybe the supporting system could not only be your family, but maybe, the society should do it as well. Yeah. So
on disruption, right? So on the latest. So I think one of the things all the countries, or all of us the challenge that we are facing is the world, and I think it's basically driven by technology. It's changing so much in a way that everyone is playing catch up, except the very few who are at the top of their game. So from Malaysia, we, just to mention that this is the year that we celebrate 50 years of diplomatic relations with China. So there's a lot of things that we're revisiting, including our partnership. So for Malaysia, we look to China as a very good friend, including Huawei. I think particularly Huawei because as I want to quote what my Deputy Prime Minister said to Huawei a few days ago, Huawei is a real friend because what they are providing is actually solutions and training in order for us to face the future together as friends. So I think in that sense, I think having the good partnership, good friends, that is the way forward. Thank you.
Okay, I think our panel is here. Okay, we can hear. And thank you for our guests, and thank you, the audiences, for your patience and your listening. Thank you very much, especially the male guests. Thank you.
And thank you, Ms. Wu Haibing. Thank you so much for this moderating. And we also would like to express our thanks to each and every panelist have this crucial dialogue during the 2 rounds of roundtable discussions. And as we all know, years by years, Huawei attaches importance to gender equality. We try to make effort on making every sound that be sounded. So, and every leader is celebrated. And thank you all for being part of this important dialogue again. So why not just use a round of applause to each and every panelist. Thank you so much for this wonderful roundtable discussions. Despite technology's role in shaping our future, individuals with disabilities face barriers in the tech. Ensuring no one is left behind in the digital transformation in education. Please welcome Professor Augusto Luengo Pereira Nunes, Strategic Project Advisor, IFPR Campus, Londrina, Brazil, to present his case, Education Approach to Promote Sustainable Talent Development in Brazil. Let's welcome Professor Augusto.
Hello. Thank you, dear. Good morning. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great event today, a great time in China also. So my name is Augusto, and I am a professor from the Federal Institute of Paraná in Brazil. So let's have a conversation about talent development in Brazil and also about digital inclusion. I would like to start my presentation by sharing with you a landscape from Brazil ecosystem. So we have 11 million students right now in our educational institutions. By the way, for that number, I want to consider courses to train new professionals for any knowledge area. Another important aspect is about the nature of our institutions. Some of them are publics. We also have some private and mixed institutions. The big difference is about how they charge the students and how much financial support we receive from our government. So if we put together all these institutions' efforts, we will have around 50,000 new professionals for the information and communication technology area per year. Nevertheless, our real lack is about twice bigger if you consider the Brazilian companies' demands. So the companies ask us for faster courses and also for better courses. In the same culture, we also have a potential not completely use it, or 9% of people with special needs. I know in Brazil we have a special law for employability, but a company in Brazil needs to hire around half of its national statistics only. So improving this data means a huge challenge for institutions and also for technology-based companies. Because in the end of the day, what we want is these professionals to really work on what they studied to work. I know you get what I mean here. It's not about hire just for charity, neither for legal constraints. It's about hire them for their useful skills, right? So that's the big picture in my culture right now. And for helping to overcome these challenges, we have the federal institutes. They are like a network over all the Brazilian states. In my case, I work on the Federal Institute of Paraná, where the most of the enrollments belongs to minorities, just like people with special needs. So let's talk about our bridges to industry. The Huawei ICT Academy in my institution, okay? These are my team members. They are instructors, they are professors, and we have some diversity here, which is important for us. We also have special students. They are experienced in the Huawei platform, materials and trainings. And our work is about to get the original content from the Huawei talent and make some adaptations, some pedagogical and assistive adaptations to deliver it to our course as new discipline. Our partnership with Huawei starts 4 years ago, so since then we could participate in the competition events promoted by the Huawei educational program. We also have the dedicated laboratory. In the last 2 years, we opened some new units to our ICT academies also. I must say, the Federal Institute of Paraná has 30 units in our state. So 3 of them are ICT academies. I really believe that the Federal Institute, with ICT Academy, has a special identity. Nevertheless, sometimes you can help students from other states, even from other countries, with speech Portuguese. So that's our numbers about this, about participation. And about the United Nations global goals, these are the goals I believe we are practicing right now. And the most important for me is the 17th goal. This is about partnership. It's a powerful tool to carry out the other goals. Now, I would like to share with you a special case. I would like to introduce to you Patrick Engemo. He is a student from my institution. And Patrick has a low vision condition. It's about 3% of vision only. From a medical point of view, he is considered blind. And he worked as a student first and then a tutor in our academy. That motivates us to adopt some technological tools to help him, like screen readers, and make the Huawei material readable for these screen readers, make detailed descriptions of any image in all these materials, and create an entirely new culture for communication using audio in writing, avoiding using freezed image, for example. So if the strategy Patrick could participate in this Huawei competitions and some events. The first one was the Seeds for the Future, where Patrick made some trainings during a week, participate in the Tech for Good challenge inside the event. In the Huawei developer competition, Patrick and his group presented a new app to help people with visual impairments in indoor location, and they get the 3rd place in this opportunity in Latin America. And last but not least, Patrick also was a tutor in our 5G training in the HCA level, helping our students to get in practicing with the Huawei platform. And he also was our presenter in the main conference promoted by the IFPR, our institution, in Paraná. So all these activities, all these experiences, Patrick published this in his social medias, mainly LinkedIn, and that caught the attention from recruiters. One of them hired Patrick to the biggest company today located in Londrina, our city. And now Patrick has a position as a computational support analyst, working as an OutSystem developer. So now I would like to share with you a short video about Patrick himself, telling a little bit about his story.
A coisa que eu tinha na minha cabeça, pô, vou fazer minha faculdade, vou sair bem, para mostrar para minha mãe que valeu a pena ela ter esse esforço. Meu nome é Patrick Vieira da Silva Engelmann, sou deficiente visual com baixa visão no olho direito, no qual eu tenho 3% de visão, porque eu tenho cataratas na visão, nessa que eu enxergo, e na outra é zero. Os desafios, lógico, sempre existem plataformas, existem ferramentas que a gente utiliza dentro da faculdade que não são acessíveis, né? Se coloca no lugar da pessoa para você entender como é que você vai dar aula para a pessoa. Aí sim melhoraria um pouco a questão do ensino, que foi também um obstáculo para mim.
Bem, eu sou Augusto Luengo Pereira Nunes, eu trabalho no Instituto Federal do Paraná e aqui eu sou professor de Ciência da Computação. E atualmente sou o coordenador da Huawei ICT Academy que a gente tem aqui no campus de Londrina. Apesar de uma empresa de tecnologia, com negócios na área de tecnologia, é também uma empresa com preocupações sociais evidentes, né? No mundo todo tem diversas ações nessa direção, uma delas especificamente com educação. E a partir do momento em que a gente também tinha já os primeiros contatos com a empresa, com a Huawei, que tinha preocupações com a área de educação e preocupações sociais, tornou-se praticamente automático, né, essa relação. A liberdade que a ICT Academy traz de adaptação de material é talvez o principal ativo que a gente encontrou dentro de uma academia de treinamento que é tecnológica, né? No 5G em particular, né, esse diálogo foi bastante importante, porque a gente pôde então adaptar alguns tutoriais, adaptar alguns materiais que o 5G ali oferecia, principalmente aqueles que desmistificavam o 5G.
Eu sou o Vitor Montenegro, sou do Departamento de Relações Públicas, muito especificamente de Responsabilidade Social e Educação para a Huawei aqui no Brasil. E é muito interessante ver como a gente, em certo momento da vida, a gente mescla o papel social da gente como ser humano com os papéis profissionais. Então eu cresci tendo uma visão muito clara, muito sensível ao que era deficiência visual, por meu pai ser deficiente visual. Quando eu chego aqui na Huawei e passo a cuidar da área de educação, dos programas sociais da Huawei, a gente sabe que hoje, com a aliança que a gente tem com professores, com parceiros, alunos no Brasil, a gente consegue desenvolver algoritmos e peças específicas que atendam efetivamente esse público. Isso é uma honra. A ICT Academy hoje cobre 96% do território nacional e isso tem um papel muito importante no desenvolvimento de uma educação mais inclusiva no nosso país.
Para o mercado poder me enxergar, eu fiz os cursos aqui, participei da ICT Academy com o professor, né? Aí eu ia lá, tipo, sei lá, eu fui participar de um evento da Huawei. Eu ia lá no LinkedIn, eu tirava uma foto, colocava o nome do evento, colocava a Huawei, fui aparecendo. O que deu mesmo start para a empresa entrar em contato comigo, acho que foi os certificados do curso 5G, que eu fui o bolsista, né? E as competições que eu participei lá dentro, por meio do ICT Academy.
I would like to thank you, audience, thank you, Huawei, thank you, UNESCO, for this opportunity. Thank you, guys.
And we want to thank you, Professor Augusto. Thank you for coming to China to our summit. Thank you so much. Please have your seat. And also thank you for sharing Patrick's inspiring journey with us. It's so touching. Thank you so much. And although Patrick can't make it possible to our summit in person, we still send our best wishes to Patrick. We hope that he will have a very successful life journey. With committed instructors, we can help many young people achieve their dreams and improve their prospects. And we look forward to deepening the partnership between Huawei and IFPR to create an education program. This will not allow usually impaired students to join and also pursue careers in technology. Ladies and gentlemen, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed partners, the universities, for their collaboration in nurturing talent through resources like courses, books, and competitions. In line with the Huawei ICT Academy program, this partnership has been instrumental in fostering a talent ecosystem that is driving us towards a smarter future. And we also want to recognize the pivotal role of instructors in shaping the ICT Academy community. Last year, Huawei introduced the Academy Instructor Enablement, which is known as AIE program, to further enhance the capabilities and impact of our instructors. Their dedication and commitment have been truly commended. Today, we are here to applaud and honor the winners of the Most Valuable Instructors Award, which is known as MVI, from 23 countries worldwide. These instructors have demonstrated exceptional skills, dedication, and innovation in their teaching methodologies, inspiring countless students and contributing significantly to the ICT field. Without further delay, let us proceed with the presentation of the MVI awards to our winners. And may I kindly request all the winners come to the stage to collect your prizes. And the winners are Lamia Said from Egypt, Ma Suiwa from Hong Kong and Macau region, Nouf Al-Mujali from Saudi Arabia, Pedro Roig from Spain, Brajina Deshanta from Indonesia, Walden Hendricks from South Africa, Veronica Pena from Philippines, Adelmo De Santis from Italy, Jamali Abdella from Morocco, Jules Lewis Yoludu from Ghana, Miguel Angel Juarez Hernandez from Mexico, Demirhan Jaksalikov from Kazakhstan, Mohammad Rashid Mukhtar from Pakistan, Olinga John Peter from Uganda, Im Tongku from Thailand, Samuel Karaoke from Kenya, Tan Su Fang from Malaysia, Ahmed Abdalfatah Abdul Razak from Iraq, Bashir Sani from Nigeria, Catalina Munoz Gayuzos from Colombia, Freddy Manuel Mazonda Cardenas from Peru, Genivildo de Jesus Santos from Brazil, Yunus Ozem from Turkey. Now our winners are already on the stage. Let's invite Ms. Ge Siying, Deputy Director General of the Chinese National Commission for UNESCO, and Mr. Xu Jingsong, Director of Developer Relations Department of Huawei, to present the awards to each winner. Welcome. To thank all the instructors. Thank you so much for your exceptional skills, dedication, and innovation in your teaching methodologies. And thank you for your inspiring countless students and contributing significantly to the ICT field. wish you to take the group photo with all the winners. Professors, why don't you just raise your trophies high and look at the cameras, and let's take this photo to memorize this important moment. Congratulations to all the winners of MVI Awards. After taking this photo, please remain on the stage for a little while. And don't leave the stage. And now we invite all the leaders and the guests sitting here. Come to the stage. We'll take this grand group photo together, okay? Just come to the stage. Welcome. Welcome everybody, let's take this photo to memorize this ICT Accelerating Education Transformation Summit 2024. We believe that this group photo means a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, since our stage is too long, would you please stay in 2 rows? Okay? Okay, or we can stand on the stairs, like 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And that will make you look perfectly on the photo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready, just show your big smile, okay? ICT, let's scream it out. Ready? 3, 2, 1. ICT! Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. And for your convenience, if you want to take the trophy easier with you, you can get your packing box just on your right side. Yeah, our staff are waiting for you. You can ask them to get a packing box to wrap up your trophies. And all the guests, just put your simultaneous interpretation devices in front of the desk of yours, and then you can adjourn to the lunch. We have prepared delicious lunch for you. Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Hasta luego.